joining us, and we're back. Next in our program, we have a friend of humankind, Wichita's Mayor Brandon Whipple and his wife Chelsea reading our bedtime story.
Hey everyone, it's Mayor Brandon Whipple here. I'm going to have Chelsea read this story. I'm going to hold it up so people can see the pictures. I do want to thank everyone for joining us for this important cause, bringing awareness to our fellow Wichitans who are homeless and to this incredible ministry that is Humankind Ministry. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I think Lacey just finished up. That's a really hard act to follow, but we're going to do our best here. So
we have Sophia Valdez, Future Prez, by Andrea Beatty, illustrated by David Roberts. Sophia was a baby who got things done, helping her family before she turned 1.
We should practice this. There you go.
She and Abuela went out every week to help elderly friends around Blue River Creek who couldn't get out and about on their own and with no place to gather were stuck home alone. Raking the leaves, taking pets for a walk, or just dropping by for a treat and a talk. Sophia Valdez did as much as she could for her family and friends in her whole neighborhood. A dreamer, a doer, a real-life go-getter. Most people like good, but Sophia liked better.
Page fell out. We're good.
Each morning, Abuelo walked Sophie to class. They walked home again along Blue River Pass, making plans, munching cookies, Abuelo and girl, except for that Tuesday when Pup saw the squirrel. With a howl, Pup took off, racing all through the town, over, under, beneath, and around. Sophia scrambled to try to keep up with the hollering man and the bellowing pup. Up the squirrel ran to the top of a hill made of leftover junk from the local landfill. They reached the tip top of that mountain of trash, which jiggled and broke with an ear-splitting crash. Down they all tumbled and hit with a thud on a moldy old pumpkin surrounded by mud. Ouch, cried Abuelo. He struggled to stand. A dangerous mess, he said, grasping her hand. The next day, Sophia walked to school solo, but it wasn't the same without her Abuelo. This is not right, declared young Sophia, who glared at Mount Trashmore and got an idea. The very next morning at dawn, she planted a sign at the front of the lawn. She stood back and smiled, and Pup gave a bark. Get rid of Mount Trashmore. Let's build a new park. Each of her neighbors had something to say about benches and fountains and places to play. Meeting spots, gardens, a basket for bees, a rubber duck pond, and a kiosk for cheese. She drew every thought on her map of the park, which was perfectly perfect by dark. She drifted to sleep in her soft, cozy bed. Then, bam, she woke up when a thought smacked her head. Her heart skipped a beat as she realized each one of her neighbors had said, "Let me know when it's done." They all thought Sophia could build it alone, but how could one girl do so much on her own? The weight of that thought made her tender heart ache as night thunder growled and she laid wide awake. Then dawn brought a storm and the gloomy sky wept and the heart-sick Sophia finally slept. Abuelo baked cookies when Sophie got up. He gave her a bagful and sneaked one to Pup. He blinked back a tear as he hugged his Sophia. For courage, he whispered, Te amo, mi vida. Sophia's knees wobbled. She felt weak inside. She looked at his ankle and quite nearly cried. Though she didn't feel brave or courageous at all, Sophia Valdez went to face City Hall. The mayor's office sent her to room 401, the Blue River Creek Department of Fun, which sent her downstairs to room 302, the office of duck ponds and cool things to do, to the office of monkeys, the Department of Cheese, the Division of Fountains and Meeting and Bees, and down to the basement, so musty and cramped, where all the town's papers were sorted and stamped. And that's where the clerk said what no one else did. You can't build a new park. You're only a kid. The smacked Sophia before it could start. I think, said Sophia, I think that law's wrong. But her second grade voice didn't sound very strong. The clerk said, clearly, it cannot be done. Do you have any questions? Sophia said, one, if you were me, and if I was you, and he was your grandpa, what would you do? Well, said the clerk. Then she said nothing at all. She thought and she thought. Then she sent out a call, employee throughout City Hall. The entire government of Blue River Creek crammed into the office to hear Sophie speak. But her words jumbled up and her cheeks turned bright red as a dozen emotions rushed into her head. Her heart beat so loudly she thought it would crack. The crowd leaned in closer. Sophia leaned back. Then her arm brushed the edge of the old cookie sack, and that was the moment when Sophia first knew being brave means doing the thing you must do, though her heart cracks with fear, though you're just in grade 2. She took a deep breath, looked the mayor in the eye, and though her knees wobbled, she held her head high. Sophia started talking. She spelled out her plan and why it all mattered and how it began. And once she got rolling, she had lots to say about meeting spots, monkeys, and places to play, and other ideas for things they could do to help the town elders and other folks too. She had thoughts on the library, thoughts on the zoo, and perhaps a way to combine the two. And all right, cried the mayor, go start a petition. If the town wants a new park, we'll form a commission. And so young Sophia got right to work with some help from her family and Pup and the clerk. Then others joined in, not all, but a few, like Miss Lila Greer and the kids in grade 2. There were hearings and surveys and taxes to figure, then bulldozers, cranes, and a blue bigger digger. They all built that park. That's how it got done, with the hard work of, by, and for everyone. But it began with the dream of one person, just one, who laced up her shoes and then led the way. to help Blue River Creek get a new place to play. Now, every evening till long after dark, the town comes together at Citizens Park. They all hold this true to be self-evident that Sofia Valdez could grow up to be president. Until then, Sofia, that real-life go-getter, helps Blue River Creek get better and better. This book is dedicated to you. You are braver than you know and mightier than you can ever imagine. Be bold. Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Mayor Whipple, for taking the time to join us tonight, and thank you, Chelsea, for being here with us. My name is Kristen Sampamuthi, and I am the Director of Programs and Compliance here at Humankind Ministries. I'd like to take just a moment to speak briefly to you about our programs. While many organizations may have had to close their doors or cut hours when COVID-19 hit, Humankind Ministries actually extended our hours and services at our 3 shelters to help prevent the spread of COVID-19 in the Wichita community. Some of the things that is very unique about Humankind Ministries is that we serve men, women, and families throughout our shelters. We also have a pet program where we offer services to those that become homeless who find themselves on the street, previously unable to seek services, but now they can because there's a place for their pets. We also provide case management throughout all 3 of our shelters. Every day I am humbly reminded of the many people that we serve, and that each person that comes to our door for services comes with a very unique story and a very unique situation that led them to their homelessness. I'm reminded of a gentleman who found himself living in his car and on the streets after he lost his wife to cancer. He remained in his car, where our street outreach team was able to work with him and provide those services on the streets. And so we were able to transition him into our shelter called The Inn, which is a 30-day program. There we were able to wrap services around him, including intense case management, where he and his pet were able to stay. And so we transitioned them into housing.
Awesome. Thank you, Kristen, for that information on our programs and what we do for those in the community. If you haven't already, consider making a gift that supports what we do and helps us continue our mission. Visit humankindwichita.org and you can donate from there. So I know it's starting to get a little dark and it's starting to cool down outside, but I want to say a huge thank you to Mayor Whipple and Commissioner Cruz, and for everyone for joining us tonight, and those who fundraised and who are participating. We're so thankful. We can't say how much more we're thankful. Don't forget, take pictures tonight, tag us in your pictures, post them to your social media pages, and at us at Humankind Wichita, okay? But we just got some information in that I want to share. Just in that short time, we got word that our very own DJ Carbon is going to be hosting a live DJ set, the SleepOut after party. So you need to visit his page. He will provide a link to his Twitch account, or the Twitch link, where he's going to be streaming the DJ set live. Tune in, request, and you can still donate. That's a great cause. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, participating, donating. We are gracious. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.